message from this as we go forth. I pray that each and everybody gets a good message from this that goes forth. Today we're going to be in the book of James. We'll be in the book of James, Second Corinthians, and also Galatians. Before I get started, I'd like to give thanks to my overseer, Apostle Ella J. Alexander of Victorious Living Faith Ministry, and we need to give thanks to my overseer, Apostle Ella J. Alexander of Victorious Living Faith Ministry. She oversees about 5 or 6 other ministries as well. As you well know, I always announce that we always have our sorry about this. We always have our I'm always getting stuck on these things. Our website. We have our website is still up and running. Our website is still up and running by the same name. So there's no difference there. It's by the same name. God in Jesus Christ Ministries is our website. You can go on there and see, see you can always see all the old videos that we did, the lives and the video. Our podcast is still up and running. It's on Spotify. I think it's also on iHeart as well. The radio station, RBM Smooth Radio, which today at 9 o'clock, we'll play gospel music. Today, it's only for 2.5 hours that we'll be playing. There are some Sundays where we do play it for a full 5 hours. Oh, sorry about that. A full 5.5 hours that we do play the full ministry. We do play it. We also have our prayer request line, which is the number you can dial, which is 833-973-39. I'm sorry, 833-943-3973. Type in your prayer request, or you can send a text message to the prayer request, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible with prayer requests. We're also on YouTube, and YouTube, you would go to God in Jesus Christ Ministries 63. And that would be basically it for our some of the announcements that we had. And as you see, sorry about yesterday, we didn't get a chance to come online. We had made the preparations to come online, but we didn't get a chance. We were not here to be able to come online for the spiritual gifts part 2. But we will take it over. We will do it next week. Everything will go next week. Everything will start next week, and we will complete those for next week. So today's sermon, we're going to be talking on church hurt. Very easy and kind of touchy subject, because everybody's in this portion of church hurt. They're in this feeling. A lot of people don't come to church because that's what they say. They have been hurt by the church. Well, the building can't hurt you, but the people that's in the building can. The building can't hurt you, but the people can. So today, to start off in our segment, and once again, I want to let you know you can share the live if you want. You can share the live. You can share the live out. Please share it out as many times as you would like. Share it out as many as you like. And share it out as many times as you like. Okay, we would be very happy about that. And the the scriptures of the day that we're going to be talking on will be James chapter 3, verse 1 through 18, 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 1, and Galatians 6 and 2. We're going to be talking from. We're going to be basically talking we're going to bring some of those scriptures to life for you. So I'm going to start off with three small little stories, three small stories to give you an idea of what's going on here. So here we are, church hurt. Just imagine it's probably a Sunday morning or a typical day, and in this small town of Cedar Springs, a group of people are gathered at they gathered at a local coffee shop. They're gathered at this local coffee shop. Okay, and they they gathered at this local coffee shop and to chat and catch up on the latest news. You know, the latest news that's going around and everything as they sip on their lattes and or their coffee, whichever you prefer. The conversation turns to a particular individual in the town who has recently fallen on hard times. So we have a group of people here. We have a group of people who have who are sitting in a coffee shop and they're talking about a person who all of a sudden has fallen on hard times. I guess the person was was doing pretty good and well and probably riding high on whatever they were successful in, maybe a business or something. And now all of a sudden this person has fallen on hard times. And here they are talking about this person, but they're not giving a hand to help this person in their time of need. They're not looking out for this person in their time of need. Also, we can see another time one person uh, starts to gossip about. Now we have this one person here that's in the same group. This one person starts to gossip about this person, spreading rumors and half truths without any regard to the impact it might have on on their reputation, on this person's reputation. So they have this impact on this person's reputation. They're spreading a false rumor, false gossip, or false stories, half truths, not full truth, just half of a truth. Take a small piece of a truth and then wrap lies around it, where people would have to dig through all the lies that's there, and it's not. Others, and then we have the others that's in the same group. They join in, adding their own hurtful comments, meaning they're adding comments off of the person's lie. Their lie that they're telling them. They're adding this lie, and they're passing a judgment. They don't stop to think about the harm they were causing with their words. Now, we all know that words are very powerful. All know that words are very hurtful to some people and in their lives. So, as we see going on and on, but meanwhile, in the same town, across town, another group of people. So we got two groups of people, two groups of people. I know I said three stories, but it was actually two. We see two groups of different people, and meanwhile, across town, there's another group of people were facing their own struggles. This group of people probably was a family, or just two individuals, and they're facing their own struggles. And matter of fact, it's a family. It's a family was dealing with a serious illness. So we have this family that is now dealing with an illness. So we have one person that had fallen on hard times, and we have another person, and or maybe it can be the same person. We don't know. The story is not really telling us either it's the same person or it's a different person, but we can probably see that it probably is. And this person is now fallen ill. And no one seems to notice or care. Their neighbors walk by without offering a helping hand or even a kind word. So you can imagine this person is falling on some type of hard times. They're the people that live to the next door, to the right of them, or to the left of them, even across the street. It's not offering them any help, any assistance, or even just giving them a few kind words. So here's what we have: a bunch of people who just don't care. They just say any old thing. They just do any old thing. They're watching people in their moment of struggle, in their moment of need, in their moment of downfall. The family later, this family felt isolated and alone in their time of need. So in their time of need, in this family's time of need, there this family is alone. This family is 100% alone. We had the group in the coffee shop who's spreading false rumors. We have one person who's spreading false rumors. They're putting false rumors on it. Good morning, Jeffrey. How you doing? Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. They're spreading false rumors, and they're making sure that they're putting this stuff out there. And then we have a family that the hard times have fallen on them. They they're facing this illness. Probably one of the family members that they've come down with this serious illness, and nobody seems to care or even lend a helping hand to them. So as we go to look in the book of James, as we're looking in the book of James, we are reminded of the power of our words in James 3, chapter 3, verse 1, all the way through 18, tells us that our tongue is the is a small but mighty force that can either bring healing or can bring harm. We are also encouraged to use our words to build up others, not tear them down. As a football coach, as a baseball coach, my job is to sometimes we do kind of like tear down uh, a player, especially if they're very unruly. We kind of tear them down and we kind of rebuild them back up and sort of like make them try to bring them back to where we can 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 motivate them in the direction we need them to go, because they come sometime with other things from other teams, and it's the same sort of like the same thing here. So in James, what James is saying, and we're going to read a few verses here. What James is saying: do not become teachers, and he's saying this is what James says here. He says, do not become teachers. Do not become teachers in large numbers, my brothers, since you know that we who are teachers will incur a stricter judgment. So, being that we are teachers in this in the body of Christ, he's telling us don't become so much enlarged, because we're going to be the people who teach are going to be more judged. There's going to be a stricter judgment on you than less the average person is. It's sort of like you're a leader and something happens everything falls on you. You're the person that everybody looks at, and everybody falls on you about that. Um, for we all stumble in many ways. If anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is a perfect man. So if you're able to not stumble or not fall in anything, you're pretty good. You're gonna make it. You're being perfect in your own way. You're being very perfect in your own way, and that is good when you can be be very perfect. You know, it's real good when you can be this perfect person. But there are moments where you will stumble. You will stumble by chance. Also, James says here, as I'm going to drop down to let me see, verse 4. Look at the ship. Oh, here we go. Bab, I'm going to go to 3. Now, if we put the bit, now this is a bit that we put in the horse's mouth. Put a bit into the horse's mouth so that they will obey us. We would direct their whole body as well. Meaning, if you got the horse has a bit in his mouth, so if you pull on what they say the left rein, the right rein, the horse will go to his right. If you pull on the left rein, the horse will go to his left. If you pull back on it, they will know. So if you're riding him and he's at a nice little gallop, and you pull back on both reins at the same time, he'll slow up. If that is what he's saying. So if we do this if this was to done with the horse, we can. Also, he says this in this part. Look at the ship too. Though they are so large and are driven by strong wind, they are nevertheless directed by a very small rudder. Now, the rudder is the thing in the back of the ship that you've probably seen them, where if you sit at the back of the little boat, it allows the boat to turn whichever way, whichever way it has to turn. So this rudder allows it to turn in the water. And whenever the incline of the palate determines, so also the tongue. So this is the tongue. He's talking about your tongue now. Your tongue when you when you're speaking, your tongue, a small part of the body, and yet its boast of great things. Meaning, if you can't control your your tongue and you can't control the words that you speak, you can wind up hurting somebody. You can wind up hurting people's feelings. You can wind up destroying people's lives. You can wind up destroying people's reputations. And this is what happens within the church, because we have people that sit in the church that sit here and they say that they are they are they are they are Christians, but yet you gossip. You, as we read in the early statements of the small story, you gossip. You also take a small truth and spin lies around it, and then you have other people add their comments to it, offer your false lies and your false stories, and then they also pass judgment on this person or people. And then we also see a family that goes through a illness. This person apparently this person had fallen on hard times because of a serious illness, and yet nobody in this small whatever this community or this town gave a helping hand. but yet you all will go to church on Sunday morning. You all will do your praise and your worship, but yet you won't help your fellow neighbor. And this is where the church is now failing people in their time of need. Also, what James is saying here, he says, see now, great a forest is set aflame by such a little fire. That's like your tongue is like a just imagine a forest, a very big forest. You spill a part truth, a half lie, and it ignites. That's like a small little flicker of amber come down, hits the ground. All of a sudden, it lights a leaf, a dry leaf, and all of a sudden, a spark happens. Small fire breaks out, and then the fire just spreads. And that's what happened here. This person put a small, a half truth, small half truth wrapped around lies. Other people began to believe it, and it just spread like wildfire. You can even see it in us with us today. We we have people that post things on Facebook about people that passed away. People are passing away. We have people put on Facebook about artists that have passed away, and that's a false rumor because now we see a person pass away. This person passed away, and your people are looking, and the people are putting oh, sorry for your loss, or going too soon, things like that, and the person is still here. It it's a hurtful thing, just also to get likes. Is also just to get likes, or to just sometimes people just being meaningful. People being very meaningful. And we this our society based on some of the based on um technology now, we have been put in a position where everything that we have is at a fingertip. Everything we have is right at a fingertip. And it's amazing that we these things go past with everything that we have in our system, in our lives. We look for likes. We put out false rumors. People spread rumors on the internet about somebody, and now people that don't even know them are talking about them and judging them on issues, and that's a problem, and that's a very problem. So the church, we get hurt in the church as well. This is not only in the church, but outside of the church as well. But the ones that are not supposed to be, the ones that are not supposed to be the hurtful ones, the ones that are supposed to be having the healing power and the power with their tongue, is the people that's in the church. We're hurting people. So what James is saying here, if we can control our tongue, like putting the bit in the horse's mouth, and we pull, so we can learn to control ourselves, not gossip. For every let me get right here. For every species of beast and bird, of reptile or creature of the sea is tempted and has been tempted by the human race. So once again, we tempt each other. We make each other feel tempted. And I kind of jumped the gun a little bit ahead, but we have been tempted. We tease dog, mean dogs. A dog is there, and we stick things at it and make just to make it get vicious and mean. So this sets ablaze, this fire, going back to the forest, so the fire is set ablaze. Same thing with your tongue. When you speak these words, it's set ablaze. Okay. Now let me go back to James. Let me go back to 6 verse 6 here, because I had skipped over all the way down a little bit. Let me go down to James, verse 6 in James. And the tongue is a fire, a the fire, the very world of unrighteousness. Your tongue is the world of unrighteousness if you don't control it. Meaning, if you don't control your tongue, you don't control your words. You just say anything you want to say. The tongue is set among our body parts, as that which defiles the whole body. Everything you say out of your mouth, what you say out of your mouth, is the perception that makes you look ugly. That's what he said. Such a, I'm gonna put it in a little bit nice way. It's kind of like what you say out of your mouth is what's gonna make you look ugly, but it defiles you. In other words, you're unrighteous in that sense. And that's where we come to. It defiles you, the whole body, and sets on fire the course of our lives, and is set on fire by hell. So when we do things where we do things where we gossip, we don't bring kind words to people, we pass a judgment off of false lies, false truths. We're hurting people, and yet we want to come into the church and we want to say we're Christians, and we want to say we are righteous and everything, but we can't pass judgment. And Jesus said, we pass judgment, but our judgment has to be righteous. We have to pass righteous judgment, not false judgment, not give people the sense of any other thing. So we we don't want to, when we speak on people, we don't want to tear them down. We want to build them up. Like I said, as a football coach, my job, build a player up, not tear them down. But there are times where I do tear the person down. I let the person know that you're wrong, such and such and such, such and such and such, such and such and such. But I don't leave that person at that state. I then, after that, I say, now let's do this, or let's try this, or maybe you should try this. And then I start to build them back up in that same moment. I don't leave them right there. We don't gossip about people. We don't come into the church, sit there, look at people, or look what she's wearing, or look what he's wearing, or this and that. We're not. We're a place where people come, where people are. Their spirits are sick. Their souls are sick. They're looking for healing. This is what they're coming for. That's why when people came to Christ during his time, they came for healing. They came for understanding. They came for compassion. They came for love. This is what James is trying to say here. That little thing that's inside your mouth can set a fire, can set a forest ablaze. This little thing inside your mouth can destroy everything somebody has accomplished, a reputation. There was a I think it was a story where a person says, write every I think he said, write something. He said, it's like you write something about somebody, all the bad things. You throw the papers up in the air. Now you want to try to go back and try to grab all those bad things you said about this person, but you can't, because it's gone now. What you have unleashed, you can't pull back. You can't bring back, you can't take it back. You done already said it, just put it out there. Um, and and James, also, we're going to go to 13. I'm going to move to 13, and then I'm going to go down to 2 Corinthians. And also in James and 13, we're going to look at the wisdom from above. What is going to come from above for us? Who among you is wise and understanding? Let him show by his good behavior. So within the church, we that's in the church should be the example of what building a person up. So this phrase, uh, people won't be saying all the time, "I'm church hurt." People can come to a church and sit down, and they're welcome and they're hugged and how you doing this? How you doing? How you feeling? Sometimes somebody just needs a kind word, just to say a kind word because they're going through so much. Life beats us down in everything that we do, and this is what we must understand. Life beats us down. Life literally, life will literally beat on you if like in the Rocky movie, when he tells his son, he says, "I'm going to tell you something you may not." I think he says, "You may not know, you may already know." Life will beat anybody down, and this is something that we are all faced with. Once somebody spreads some gossip out there, it's hard for me to rebound from it because in the back of other people's minds, that gossip or that thing that was told about me will always be there. And what will happen is it'll be always be there, and it'll tear down. It can tear down, and life will tear you down with that same gossip. And if it can beat you, life can beat you and beat you and beat you till you're falling on your knees, and then it's going to keep you there if you want to stay there. But a lot of people have a hard time bouncing back from when their church hurt. So, James is saying here, let this person who is wise and with understanding show by his behavior, uh, his deeds in the gentleness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambitions in your heart, do not be do not be anguish and so lie against the truth. Don't be arrogant don't be arrogant and so lie against the truth. Don't Meaning, other words, don't if you got jealousy in your heart and you got your own ambitions. We all do have ambitions for desires that we want, but don't become jealous of the next person because they got something they want and you didn't get it. Be happy for that person, but also don't be uh arrogant and so lie against whatever is true. Don't let your jealousy send you to lie against something that is actually true, and you're going to lie against it because it is what is true. This wisdom is not that. This wisdom is not that. I'm sorry. Let me turn this page here. This wisdom is not which comes down. It does come down. Uh, it comes down from above. This wisdom which comes down from above, but is earthly, natural. Earthly, natural, and demonic. For their jealousy and self ambition exists there is there is deceit in every evil thing, but the wisdom from above, which comes pure, then place loving, gentle, reasonable, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial, free of hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. So what it's saying here, what James is also saying here, is that this wisdom is not that which comes from